Hi, this is Tim Hubbard, supervisor of the great town of Riverhead, and you're watching Riverhead in Action, a media campaign designed to highlight the incredible work of the 350 plus employees that comprise Riverhead's 26 departments and sub-departments, town events, projects, job openings, local businesses, and other town happenings. I hope you find this informative and enjoyable, and thank you for watching Riverhead in Action. Tell me it's not true.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for all the years that we know each other.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
From your days on the beat coming in.
Oh, heck yeah.
And your family all coming in.
Yeah.
Just had your sister-in-law over here a couple of weeks ago to wish me well.
Yeah.
Madeline stopped in and say hi.
Yeah.
So it's great.
This is unbelievable, man.
Well, it's hard to pull the trigger, but
It is, I'm sure.
it's 53 years, and it was hard to get to that process in my thinking. But my wife and I made a pact that we would retire together. So
Oh, okay.
that's what we're doing.
Cool.
We're retiring together.
Cool. So are you heading anywhere? Or are you
No, I'm staying in New York. No.
I know that. That's cool.
That's just sure. We need a little bit more handle on what's going on here, though.
Yeah.
So we gotta stop all the handouts. We gotta give handouts instead
Well,
of
the
handouts.
handouts cost you in the long run.
Yeah, I know. But look,
people.
people could use some help, so we got to figure out a way how we can help everybody and include everybody into being good citizens.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully we'll get there.
Tell us something about Fred nobody knows.
Something about Fred that nobody knows. Well, something about Fred that nobody knows. I've had great customers. I just got a card here this morning from Felicia Trebizio, which was she was the daughter of Grace Downs. She worked here at the courses, and her and her husband Howard, they would go clamming, avid clammers when they retired. And during the summertime, Mrs. Downs would pull up in front of my store with 24 clams open on a bed of ice with some hot sauce and a can of beer.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Doesn't get any better than that. And that's the way I always choose to remember Riverhead. It was all the great people, all the great farmers that would bring me cauliflower, and they would bring me corn, they would bring me strawberries, they would bring me broccoli. You know, it was just...
How cool is that? I mean, and that's so true. That's what's nice about our community.
And there's my collection, all right? This is my dead man's collection, all the shoe lasts, all the do-it-yourselfers that we had in the area, that when their grandfathers died or parents died, because they were all fixing their own shoes in their homes. So they had these shoe lasts, and they couldn't bring themselves to throw it away, so they wound up giving them to me. Now I got a whole store full of these memories of people that were from a bygone era. You know what I mean? But it was mainly homeowners. This is like... This was a box of a kit from a homemade shoemaking kit that they had. And I saved this little article here. And it was from Sears and Roebuck's. And it's pretty, but it's pretty decrepit. And it was half soling and soldering.
Oh my God.
Right. So they had the directions for half soling. So people would be able to fix their own shoes. That's how our society was. You know?
Absolutely.
So you could go to Woolworths or one of the stores, and they would sell you soles that they would have on the rack. You know what I mean? That you could buy, that you could fix your own shoes. So that's a pretty amazing thing. So
absolutely.
To see in my lifetime, how much things have changed. So I'm more like an 8-track tape right now.
And your cash register.
My register. That was from the original when I had taken over from the family that had previously owned the business. This was Mr. Case. You must remember the Case family.
Case, sure.
All right. And that came with the shop when I had taken over in 1971. Fenimore Myers was my landlord.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and we
Oh,
negotiated the rent from $85 to $65 a month. And he was one of the main reasons why, as a young fellow, I was able to rough it out. You know, it was very lean in the early years because there was 3 other shoe repair shops in Riverhead at that time in 1971. So, and I was the 4th.
I remember one across the parking lot on Roanoke Avenue.
That's where I was.
That's where you started, right? And then you came over here.
Then I came here in
Okay.
1876.
Okay.
And I've been in the town continuously for 53 years.
And everybody knows you. Everybody brings issues here.
Well, you know, I've covered the whole East End, you
Yeah.
know? So anybody that dressed to go to work usually found me, whether it was the lawyers or town government or, you know, town supervisors. I think I fixed every town supervisor in every town has come here at one time or another.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
Joe Janowski,
Yeah.
you know, used to come all the time. Yeah, Sean used to come,
Yeah.
and Alan Smith, which I love to death. You know, I mean, because Alan was one of those no-nonsense guys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He was cut from that, you know, let's do the right thing. I don't have time for BS.
Right, right. Alan called it as he saw it.
Yes, yes, and I love the
Focus
Florida.
on it. Yeah.
Well, he modernized the whole town
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
the day. He computerized that down
Mhm.
there.
Absolutely.
But we had, you know, town hall was right here on 2nd Street when I first opened it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What would you
I
say?
even got locked up by the town constable there.
Did you?
Yes.
Malcolm?
Yeah. Malcolm
Malcolm
locked
Stewart?
me up for $6 worth of parking tickets.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Malcolm Stewart, yes. He got mad at me. I used to park my Oyster Healy in front of my store and feed the meter with the nickels. And he said I was taking away customers' parking. So he used to time my meter and he would come every day to try to write me a ticket.
Boy.
So we played this game for many years. That was,
That's funny.
That's
What's one of the biggest changes you've seen since you first came here to today with the town, with downtown? Yeah, what growth, more population?
Let's not go there.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I want to go out on a positive note. I have
Fair
a lot of things that I could say
Yeah.
that, you know what, I would be doing you and me a disservice because, you know, Riverhead is a great place and it has a lot of great potential. But there is a lot of things that are happening right now that I'm not particularly happy about. And they I don't know, somehow they need to be addressed. So, you know, it's starting to feel a little, that too much haves and have-nots. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of have-nots on this side of town.
Right.
And somehow we need to help these people because it's not good.
Right.
It's not a good thing. So,
Understood.
but meanwhile, everybody tries hard. And, you know, it's like any place, for anybody's home. We need to make our beds and sweep our floors for our guests, you know, that come into town. And that's what we need to do. And somehow we need more ladies like Mrs. Goodale that would go around and would take care of all the flowers.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she was very kind lady. She would
Yeah.
pick up the garbage off the
Yeah.
streets, and she wasn't looking for any accolades. And we all know that Mrs. Goodale had the wherewithal not to,
Oh, yeah.
to live a
Right.
charm life as she
Absolutely.
wanted. But she was very community oriented. And that's what I miss most about the old timers is the community that we had, because we always had characters that were in downtown Riverhead, but somehow we all managed to make sure they were safe, fed, and housed,
Right.
and they were taken care of.
Right.
And unfortunately, we have too many people that's not happening for them.
Right.
You know, so somehow we need to make that better.
Now, Fred, what happens with all the equipment?
Well, basically I'm hanging on to a lot of it because it's old and there's a glut of shoe repair machines on the market. Because during the pandemic in Manhattan alone, only over 40 shoe repair shops went out of business.
Oh, wow.
All right, and there was another 20 pending whether or not they were going to stay in business because they were waiting for the pandemic money. So the actual count was pretty high. And even at this moment in time, as I was trying to sell my business, there was over eight shops that were for sale that were not moving.
Oh, wow.
You know? So yeah, you have to have a skill set, and to come out east, you got to change the place where you live. So
What got you into this originally?
money.
As a kid, you were making.
As a
you
kid,
could
I
make
was
some
one of
good
7
money.
children.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad, very proud man, worked 3 jobs to support us all, but when I was a young fella, I was always looking to get a part-time job.
Yeah.
So I had started with my friend's uncle, and I had learned that as a kid. And when I came here in '71, that's when I found out I wasn't going to get drafted. I wasn't going to go to Vietnam. And that was the deciding factor to go into my own business, actually. Not that,
Yeah.
I respect our veterans, but I was against the Vietnam.
Right.
So I didn't want to. Anyway, so it's been pretty kind of a success story for me.
It's a great story for everybody.
I feel blessed to be able to have spent my whole adult life in downtown Riverhead, and the people have been wonderful to me. And I say it with a warm heart for all the great people that are in it. I wish I could give them all accolades on my way out, but just people have been overwhelmingly nice. That's been a positive.
Yep.
From bowling the Polish
things we
halls,
love, right.
for
And
bowling the
bowling
Polish halls,
downstairs.
going to all the great country fairs that we have, meeting all the people.
Yep.
Everybody is community oriented around town, and I hope we can keep that always. Because we have more and more people that are not Suffolk County residents coming into the town, and I see that's the biggest change.
Right. Right.
Kind of losing that hometown flavor.
Yeah, it used to be, when I was a kid, I remember going into a grocery store and you knew everybody in every aisle. Now it's not so much like that.
Ruth in the
Oh,
grocery
yeah,
store,
yeah.
calling your mother and telling you, you know what,
Yeah.
they with the wrong kids, you find out what they're doing.
Very true.
So
Very
people
true.
looked after one
Yep.
another.
Yep.
It's like when I was a young fellow and I used to take my father's car from the train station while he went to work, and my neighbor ratted me out.
That's funny.
So, there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
we got
Fred.
we can't get away with anymore.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you taking
Thank
the
you
time
so
to come
much.
down. And
We
and
appreciate
I
everything
the
that
certificate
you've
of
done for the
appreciation.
community,
And,
all the work, the number of feet that you've helped out in this town with
Well,
repairing shoes.
well, if I
and-
die, I fixed accordion straps, I fixed tennis nets, I fixed lawn bags, I fixed car parts, I fixed all kinds of things
Yep.
over the years. So when people didn't know where to go, they wound up in the shoe repair shop. So fortunately, I was able to help a lot of people with a lot of different small projects.
Absolutely.
Whether it was a vintage airplane or
Yeah.
an old pumper from the fire department.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they needed to remanufacture something from
Sure.
one of the old days.
Yeah.
So I've had my hands involved in a lot of little projects. Sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
Very good.
Best of luck to you.
All right,
I
thank
mean
you.
that
Thanks
from
for
my
taking
heart.
your day.
Thank you for
for
what
coming
you've
in.
done.
Well,
Appreciate you
appreciate it.
setting up
Thank you.
shop in Riverhead and being a big part of our town. So
Listen.
more than you realize. Let me tell you,
look,
more than you
I gotta
realize.
say, the Maris family, when I first came in,
Yeah.
embraced me as a young fella, made me part of their family, and so many other great
Yeah.
families that
Yeah.
were here. That I came in as an outsider, as a young fella,
Right.
and somehow I became part of the community
Absolutely.
over the years.
Absolutely.
So,
Awesome.
only have good memories of it. Always will.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Don't be a
guys.
Enjoy
stranger, come see
retirement.
us in town hall anytime.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, one of these days I would like to walk in to see what
Absolutely.
the new facility
New
is
digs
like.
are nice.
Yep.
They're nice. So.
That's good. Well, I used to deserve to have a good place to run government. God knows your job is hard enough. You know?
It's
And,
fun. It's fun.
Well,
I
you
enjoy
know
it.
how it is when you're in politics.
Yeah.
On one side you got the cheering squad, on the other side you got the booing squad.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you can't keep anybody happy.
Never ever. Never ever.
So we try to make educated decisions,
Yep.
and we try to do the best for all that's involved.
Absolutely.
Which is hard in Riverhead because everybody has their own vested interests.
Right.
So it's kind of like held us back in ways.
Sure.
But we're trying to move forward. So, and I know the town will continue to move forward, especially with your leadership at
I
the helm here
appreciate
right
that.
now.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you very much.
absolutely, absolutely. You've been
I love it.
from a young fellow. All you've done is serve the town of Riverhead. You know,
Yeah.
so how can that?
Love my town.
How could that be
Like
a
you
bad
love the
thing?
town.
That's
Same
it.
thing.
You know, that we grew up
Yep.
together in the town.
Absolutely.
You know, and our friends, our family, our children, our grandchildren, and future generations.
Yep.
They'll be here to reap what we leave behind. So,
Absolutely.
And hopefully it's better for them.
Yep.
That's what we all want for all our children, for it to be better. You know, so.
Thanks, Fred.
All right, well, thank
Be
you.
good. We appreciate
I
it.
do much better here in my home setting than if I was in town hall trying
Right.
to tell you all these things. so.
Understood.
All
Understood.
right, I appreciate it. So.
The end of an era.
Right, well, a
Fred
new
the
beginning
Cobbler.
for me. I had one woman that told me retirement is like getting out of high school with money. And that's what I try to keep in my brain.
I like that, actually. That's a good analogy. I like that.
All right, so.
Well, you enjoy your college years now, then.
All right,
Let's
yes,
put it that
thank
way.
you. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Fred.
you so much.
Take care.
Thank you for taking the time out, everybody.
Enjoy life.
Yes, thank you.